Hello and welcome. My name is Penny Meckley Porter. I'm a therapist here at Thrive Therapy Space, also the founder. And I incorporate mindfulness into my practice. When I see clients, I incorporate mindfulness routinely into my practice. And I really love it and I love sharing it with you. So before we get started, I do want to say that for the next month, so the entire month of May 2021, we'll be talking about grief and loss, which isn't always people's favorite subject. But grief is really an important topic, especially in view of all of the losses we've all encountered over the last year plus. So please join me for the month of May. So let's get started with today. So today we're talking about emotions and being able to identify your emotions, using mindfulness to be able to identify your emotions. So oftentimes we can identify certain emotions pretty easily. If I'm frustrated or aggravated, those are pretty easy. Sad, guilt can be a big one that is kind of easy to identify. Anger, perhaps. There are other emotions, perhaps, that are easy to identify, but we don't necessarily spend that much time really kind of sinking down into understanding our emotions and identifying them. And so, what are the benefits? Some of the benefits are that as we identify our emotions, especially when we can identify our emotions and use a kind and compassionate approach with ourselves, then we identify the emotions, we accept our emotions, kind of acknowledge our emotions. And then guess what? They're more likely to kind of like pass through us, and we're less likely to get stuck in them, right? Have you ever gotten stuck in anger or frustration? So identifying them can help them to pass. It also, as a skill, can help us start to recognize different layers of what's going on for us, because rarely is there just one emotion. And especially if I feel overwhelmed or my emotions are really big, then I probably identify the one emotion that's really big, and I might not even be aware of the others. It also can help you to communicate better about how you're feeling and what's going on for you, right? It can help you communicate better, because if you tell somebody, I'm angry, then they often don't respond as well as if you're able to say, wow, I'm really feeling frustrated, but then also I recognize there's this level of sadness about what's going on right now. And there's this other level of inadequacy that I'm feeling as a result of this thing that's happening. And I'd like to talk to you about that. So it can help conversations go better. It can help relationships. One more piece is that as we notice our emotions, we can use our thinking brain with them. We're always using our thinking brain. That sounded insulting, as if you're not already using your thinking brain. No, that's not what I mean. But like, emotions can be really big, and it can also be, in addition to our emotions, it can be valuable to be able to assess them with our thinking brain, with our kind of more reasonable, rational, and less emotional brain, to be able to sort through them. Yes. So I'd like to get started with just kind of practicing tuning in to your emotions, and we'll have you tuning into your body. So we'll try a couple different emotions, and then we'll have you sorry, I said that too fast. We will try a number of different emotions and then have you tune into where you feel those emotions in your body. Okay, so let's get started. As always, sitting comfortably in your chair, allowing your chair to like be supporting you, maybe sinking in a little bit to your chair, relaxing down into your chair. Close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. And bring your awareness to your breath. Noticing your chest cavity expanding and contracting, or perhaps the feel or sound of the breath right there at your nose. Your awareness to your breath. Noticing how it moves your body. Now let's take a couple of extra deep breaths. So at your next inhale, I'd like you to inhale a little bit more deeply than usual. So at your own pace, inhale. Exhale a little bit more deeply than usual. We'll do that twice. Inhale. And then exhale. Again, extra deep. Back to your normal breath. And then let's do a couple of deeper exhales without the inhalation. Okay, this is good if you experience any kind of panic attacks or anxiety. Oftentimes when we're learning about panic attacks, we learn that we should breathe deep, but actually we're already breathing. Our lungs are pretty close to being full of air. We're feeling kind of panicky and we're breathing up here. And we really want to exhale first. Anyway, next breath, deep exhale. Once again, normal breath in, deep exhale. Maybe a third, normal breath in, deeper exhale. Great. Good job. Now I'd like you to bring your awareness to a time recently where you felt happy or joyful or peaceful or excited. How about that? We'll pick some of the emotions that we label as positive. Awareness is a time you felt happy, peaceful, excited, joyful. And bring your awareness to your body. And notice in your body, like, how do you know? So bringing that up in your mind, but then feeling it in your body. And what do you feel in your body? What are the cues or clues in your body about what you're feeling? Good. So you'll feel certain specific things in certain areas. Your happiness feels a certain way in your body. Your joy or excitement or calm feel a certain way in your body. And that's what you're tuning into right now. See if you can notice where you feel it. How it feels. How big it is. So like, how much space does it take up? Is it just like a pinpoint of space? Or does it take up your whole chest or your whole body? Good. So you've been noticing where you feel one of these emotions. Let's shift now to the emotion of uncertainty, or a related emotion that feels kind of like uncertainty. That's how it feels to me, but an emotion where you just don't know what to do or say or how to proceed. Perhaps you feel awkward. So bringing that emotion into your psyche, if you can remember a time recently where you felt that or felt some of that, and tuning into your body. How does that uncertainty feel in your body? Noticing the location where you feel it, or locations. How it feels there. It could feel heavy. It could feel light. It could feel vibrating. You might feel it inside your body, perhaps on your body. You're just tuning in, and you don't need to do anything with what you learn except just notice. Like, that's where I feel it. Let's shift to another emotion. How about guilt? Think of a time recently where you felt guilt, a sense of I should not have done that, or I should have done something that I didn't do. Noticing where guilt feels in your body. How it feels in your body. If you had to describe it to someone who was listening closely, how would you describe it? I don't mean to get caught up in the words as much as to be finding the sensations, locations that you would need to use to describe. Lastly, I'm going to pick sadness, but if you'd like to explore a different emotion, then feel free to. Let's explore sadness. If you can conjure that up in your body, perhaps by remembering a time that you felt sad lately, and noticing where you feel it in your body. Good job. So maybe one more, and that would be overwhelm. And overwhelm is often a pretty big emotion. And there's often many emotions inside of that. But I'd like you to be tuning into where do you feel overwhelm in your body. And then even what you feel like doing when you're overwhelmed. Some of us feel like going down into like a little tiny, like scrunching down into the fetal position. Some of us feel like jumping up and jumping into a situation. what does your body want to do when you feel overwhelmed? Now, let's bring our awareness back to the breath. Noticing your breath again. Ground yourself, feel yourself on your chair, your body on your chair, your feet on the floor. And then open your eyes. I'd love to ask you how that experience was. Perhaps you'd have feedback for me, like I went too fast or I went too slow or something. And I would value that feedback. But also, what was it like for you to be sinking into your emotions? And with this practice, you could practice this numerous times per day. And you might be surprised. I talked to somebody recently who'd made a decision. She'd made a decision not to join a club that she really, really wanted to join, but she decided she was too busy to join this club. And so she made the decision, okay, well, we could just decide she'd be done with it. Well, as we were exploring, she realized that she felt she was disappointing herself. She had a fear of disappointing others. She had a sense of inadequacy. So she's busy with other things. She's prioritizing other things. She's prioritizing family and summer and sunshine and doesn't want to be doing this group that would be indoors. So on the one hand, she had clarity about her decision. But at the same time, there was a non-clarity and there were these different levels of emotion, disappointing self, disappointing others, feeling inadequate, a sense of comparison to other people. Other people could have done it. Other people can do everything, but why can't I? Frustration that the group was coming together at a time that was not good for her. A sense of even kind of wanting to blame some of the other people for not waiting to the end of the summer. So you see what I'm talking about? All these different emotions. Some are layered over the others. And that's what we can do as we develop these skills of sitting with our emotions, noticing them, allowing them, and even evaluating them. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you will join me all next month at the Jefferson Educational Society live Facebook feed at noon on Fridays. I hope to see you then. We will be talking about loss and grief. Thank you so much.